A Marvel artist colors a children's coloring book? What? Hi, I'm James, the box office artist, a former Marvel artist, and I'm going to take this children's coloring book and color it in a Marvel style. This is going to be a lot of fun. I found this children's coloring book at the dollar store, and there are a lot of really fun images in here. And there's a lot of images I thought I could spruce up a little bit. How about this one here? This is the Abomination. I think I could do something cool with that. Oh, and how about this one? This one's my favorite. How about the Hulkbuster? I think I could add just a little bit of detail to this. Let's start with this Thor one. You know, people ask me all the time, hey James, when did you start drawing? And I always give them a random answer, like 3 years old. But for the longest time, I always been drawing. But I actually never considered being an artist until way later in life, like my last year of high school. Until then, growing up in an Asian household, of course, they want you to be like one of those professional lawyers or doctors and stuff. So going through school, I never thought I was going to be an artist. I was always drawing on the side, watching cartoons and drawing. But in my mind, okay, when I grow up, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a lawyer, I'm going to be a fireman, I would be anything with a uniform. But it never crossed my mind to actually do art for a living. One thing was, I always wanted to draw. So every spare moment I could, I would watch cartoons and just draw what I saw. In high school, I would go ahead and create my own characters. I actually drew my own comic book in high school, still not thinking I would do this as a career. Then my final year of high school, I looked at my schedule and I thought to myself, wouldn't it be cool if I actually drew for a living? And that's when I made the decision to actually leave high school early, graduate early, so I could take art in college. That was a really tough decision, especially for my parents. It's not they didn't want me to be happy doing my job, but they didn't know you could make money for my job. And back then, YouTube wasn't a thing. I would have tried to do YouTube whenever I was that age. So I went to college to take art with the purpose of becoming a comic book artist. And then after 4 years of college, I got my first job as a background artist in comics. That led to a 6-year comic career. Now let me talk to you about this comic career right after I show you what this Thor piece looks like. And this piece was colored as well, but make sure you stay to the end to see the full color. How about this one here? This is the Abomination. I think I could do something cool with that. I have a soft spot for the Abomination, mainly because that was one of the first characters I've ever worked on professionally for Marvel. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about my comic book career. Hey, it was a dream to work for Marvel, and it was a dream to work for the very first company I worked for, Dreamwave. That was the name of the company, Dreamwave Productions. I started off, like I said, as a background artist, working on titles called Warlands and Dark Minds. Now, Dreamwave was a very anime style, and I couldn't draw in that style. That's why they got me to do more backgrounds to start off, but once they got the Transformers license, they said, hey James, you could draw cars, maybe you could draw a Transformer. And that was my very first comic series, Transformers Armada for Dreamwave. And it was a great experience, though. You learn a lot, especially starting out. You find out about deadlines a lot. You realize that you can't put everything you want in every single panel. But at the same time, I really loved doing detail. It was during that time that I discovered artists that I absolutely love, including guys like the late great George Perez, who always put so much detail in his work. And that's why today I try to put in as much detail as I can, especially when it comes to doing coloring books like this. I want to add more details. I want to add more little lines and squiggles and stuff like that because it's relaxing. It's a lot of fun for me. And that's what I did for 6 years of my comic career until I tried to change careers again. And I'll tell you more about that a little later. But here, right now, is my ink drawing of the Abomination. And like the Thor, this was also colored professionally, but you'll see the full color at the end of this video. Oh, and how about this one? This one's my favorite. How about the Hulkbuster? I think I could add just a little bit of detail to this. So let's talk quickly about how I finished my comics career. But one thing I noticed was after drawing comics for so long, after working in the trenches of comics for a good 6 years, being stressed out of my mind, I thought to myself, is there another way where I could creatively do art, but do it in a different form? Go to somewhere, do my work, come home, and not worry about it. Because in comics, that's all you do, 24 hours a day. That's all you think about is drawing comics because there's so much work to do. So that's when I went back to school and changed my career to try computer animation. And that led to a 9-year career in visual effects. And then after that, I decided to try something new again. That's when this little thing called YouTube came along. And I said to myself, hey, you know what? I want to try this. At least once in my life, I want to do art on my own terms without someone telling me what to draw. And that's when I decided to give YouTube a try. And you guys have been there for the journey. 10 years now I've been on YouTube, and it's the best career of my life. That goes to show you, it's okay to change career paths. It's okay to try something and realize it wasn't for you. That's what life's about. And it's never too late to change what you want to do. I've changed my career many times, all in the field of art, but it took me a while to realize what I was really passionate about. There's that saying, you find what you love to do and you'll never work a day in your life. It's all about trying to find what is that one thing that you want to do. So take your time. It's okay not to find it right away. Take your time and hopefully you'll find the right thing for you. So this challenge was an absolute blast, and I had so much fun doing this Hulkbuster piece. I tried to add in as much little detail as I could inside, little nicks here, little dents in the metal, and hopefully that shows. Hopefully I leveled up this coloring book. Now I could color these pieces myself, but I wanted these to be professionally colored, so I asked my good friend, pro colorist Thomas Mason, to work his magic on these pieces. And this is what it looks like. So for all these colors, my buddy Thomas Mason did an overall color, and then I went in and added a background to it and added in a little special effects, things like smoke, things like flares. So the final color is a collaborative effort, but a huge thank you to my buddy Thomas Mason. Make sure you follow him in the links down below. And here it is. There you go. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe. My name is James, and I'll see you next time.